Alright, hello everybody, welcome back to World of Warships Legends. Again, Wits End FL here. I have a replay in the Vanguard. This is, again, my personal game, just like my Georgia game. This is going to be my second upload. This video was actually my personal damage record. I've kind of been on a streak these past couple of weeks where I'm just setting a personal damage record and then immediately breaking it by small amounts. This game in the Vanguard, as the title says, 179,000 damage, I think. Just barely broke that in the Georgia with 183, which should be up on my channel as well if you want to take a look at that one. Pretty great game. This game, I've got a nice clean recording of, so should be good. As you guys saw, I'm running Charles Madden, not max rank, he's only like rank 11. I have John Jellicoe as my inspiration, again, not max rank, just to bump up the duration of the heal, which I think increases the overall length and health recovered. And then, obviously, Andrew Cunningham as well to get the dispersion. I do have Scharnhorst as well, which I could use, or Lev Galler for the extra HE, or Jajard for the extra penetration, but I find this ship to be at its best, fooling people into taking these shots, and then being able to heal a ridiculous amount of it back. I actually really enjoy the Vanguard, and I think it is a good ship. There's one small change I think it needs. Everything else I think is completely fine, which is probably not a popular opinion. The one small change I think this ship needs to go from probably one of the weaker ships at tier 7, even though I enjoy it, to a viable, great ship, kind of where the Bismarck is, or I'd say the Bismarck is currently. And that is, I think this ship needs the Queen Elizabeth's turret angles, that way you don't have to show such a flat broadside to get all 8 guns off. Right off the bat, broadside Vanguard, we're going to take that shot, showcase just how weak the armor is when you're showing that broadside. Immediately a 17,000 damage salvo. So it's pretty nasty, just how bad it is. We're going to pop that reload booster. Didn't get as good results there, but still 8,000 damage. Yeah, so another great salvo, and he's still showing a broadside. So we're going to keep taking this shot until he learns his lesson. If and when that is. Another 10,000 damage salvo, just like that. So, and again, you've got the British short fuse armor piercing. If I was in like an American ship, these would be Citadels. He probably would have gotten dev struck by this point. So again, I think what this ship really needs is the turret angles of, I may have said the the Warspite earlier, I meant to say the Queen Elizabeth. The Queen Elizabeth is one of my favorite ships, definitely probably my favorite at tier 5, purely because of those turret angles and how well you can angle the armor, and get all 8 guns off since you don't have 6 guns over the bow. I think with that, it would make it a fantastic ship, very viable to play, and the British line would be a complete, and total line worth grinding through. You'll still struggle at legendaries, especially with short fuse 15-inch guns. Even regular 15s struggle with legendaries, but is what it is. You also have great HE, which I think would be great when you're dealing with those legendaries. Have another broadside Bismarck. We are getting some pretty serious fire damage from Atlanta. Those things are menaces. Very hard to deal with, but when you have a heal like the Vanguard here, it's not as much of a problem. Boom, 13,000 right off the Bismarck, showing that broadside. I don't have this guy maxed, like I said, so I only have 4 heals when I could have 5. And also, Will to Rebuild is only Legendary 1, which increases the amount of health healed as well. So this heal is as good as it is because of Jellicoe, and partially Will to Rebuild. But as you saw, I mean, that was probably a quarter of my health I was able to regain from that. The one disadvantage of going with this build over the Cunningham build is, the dispersion is still pretty good. We just got 9,500 damage off the Bismarck, showing his bow. Anyway, it's the range. the weakness of this ship with this build is range. You have 16 kilometers of range, which isn't great, but it could be worse, I would say. You know, we're not talking about the Roma with 15 kilometers. And in this match, it really wasn't so much a problem. We switched to HE, so we got a fire. Probably should be firing AP, but I mean, I'll take a fire. That works too. Get a second fire on him, and those are going to burn for a little while. So that's obviously going to do quite a bit of damage. Already, 93,000 damage. As we can see, the kid got a dev strike on one of our destroyers, which is not a great situation. Bismarck is still burning it down. We got a shot at this lightning. Got to take it. It's our only destroyer. And I wish I had HE loaded now. Now, if you take a look at the board, they've lost 1 destroyer, and we're down to 4 ships right now. This is not a good situation for us. It seems like I've been the only one who's been able to do anything up till this point. You know, and if we don't do something soon, we're going to be in trouble. Bismarck is very low. We burned him down pretty good. Have AP loaded. We're going to switch to HE. Since he's showing a little bit of an angle, we're going to try and burn him down the rest of the way since we got all shatters there. Lightning is showing up again. We could take that shot, and I think we may. We'll see. The Bismarck is obviously something we do want to get rid of. He can't build a rebuild if we take him out, and the Lightning is not showing a great angle, so he'll be a hard target to hit. So we're going to go ahead and try and take out that Bismarck now, just that way he can't annoy us any further. Somebody's got a fire on him, but we're going to try and add to that before he gets taken out. Now we have a broadside Florida. We are stuck with HE in this scenario once again, but we're going to try and use some of the hard-hitting 15-inch HE, try and get a fire as well, and switch to AP. And then switch back to HE for some reason. Maybe he's battle tanking. Oh yeah, that's why I did it, the Lightning. I forgot about him. So not a great situation when a destroyer pops out right in front of you, but you do get quite an arsenal of consumables with the Vanguard, so we're going to take advantage of the rarely used secondaries here. And then we're going to fire that great HE at him before our destroyer finishes him off for us. And then immediately we're going to turn because we know what's coming if we don't. And there they are. Missed them both. So now we're getting focus fired pretty good. We've got an Atlanta and a Wichita plus a Florida all firing at us. If we don't do something, despite having the great heals, we are not long for this world. We got a single fire going on, starting to get some damage soaked. We're going to switch to AP, see if we can't do something about these fire spammers here. We're now down to a 4 to 6 ratio. A lot of us have some pretty decent health, but some of us don't. And as you can see on the minimap, I'm kind of in the middle of it all. We take a shot at this Atlanta, and boom, Citadel, high caliber badge, and our first kill. We are up to 128k with a fair amount still in the tank, plus 2 heals left. We've got this Wichita showing a broadside. Gonna try and make him pay for that. See if we can't remove another menace from the team. He's firing AP at us. This does a little bit of damage, nothing too great, but you know. We go ahead and return the favor with a Citadel, get our Confederate badge as well, so he's not happy. We're up to 142, 353. We're going to go ahead and take another shot as well, trying to get rid of him as best as we can. And 9,000 damage, and our Bismarck's able to finish him off. Now we have a Florida chasing us down with a Nagato not far behind, and a second Florida coming around that corner. Not a good situation for us when you look at where our teammates are. He's showing us pretty good angles, so we're going to take that shot at the Florida. Go ahead and give him another Citadel and an incapacitation. Secondary hit. We're up to 168, 103 now. Went ahead and popped off that last heal, trying to annoy them for as long as possible, but when you're getting focused like this, there's really not a whole lot you can do. We're going to go ahead and take a shot at the Bismarck here. And we do 7,400 damage, pretty good, pretty solid, I'll take it. And now we're going to try and get a final salvo off on this Florida here because we obviously don't have much time left. He's showing a flat broadside, which is a big mistake, but he gets away with it pretty scot-free, 4,000 damage, and we get killed just before we're able to get that last salvo off, which is unfortunate. But if you take a look at the standings, we were down a all but one, so an 8 versus 4 scenario where I was basically the only one on our side. And because of my efforts, I was able to take out that Atlanta, do most of the damage to the destroyer and the Wichita, a lot of damage to the Florida and the Bismarcks. So we were able to wither down the remainder of the team and get rid of any threats for our destroyer here. So we left them in a pretty good situation despite, you know, being down a cap. But take a look at their health, guys. You know, that Florida is pretty low. The Nagato, I can't really see. But the Vanguard, also very low. And again, not a great armor scheme. I believe that's the guy we were taking 40,000 off of from the beginning of the game. It's only because of those heals that, you know, you're able to really stay in it. Nagato is really not great either. Bismarck's definitely doing quite a bit better from him. And he's doing a great job of staying behind that island. Or staying in front of the island just so that way the other guys can't focus him. So he's going to try and, you know, take him one by one, which is absolutely the right thing to do in that scenario. He gets touched pretty good there. That looks like an 18,000 damage salvo. He does maybe 10,000 to that Nagato. So he's going to start turning away from the Florida before he gets destroyed the rest of the way. He's definitely going to need to do more work if the destroyer has any hope of finishing off the game and clutching it out. Nagato is showing a completely flat broadside here, so Megatron's going to take that shot any day of the week, as he should, and boom, he's done. That was probably a 25,000 damage salvo right there. Now it's 2-1. Our destroyer goes ahead and takes out the Vanguard the rest of the way with a pretty nasty, maybe 30,000 damage torpedo salvo while he's going for the cap. So now we're at a 2-1 scenario with a Florida who doesn't have a whole lot of health here. Our Bismarck's going to go ahead and take a shot at him. I believe the Bismarck can actually overmatch his bow. It looks like he can. And obviously 14-inch guns, there's really not a whole lot he can do if the Bismarck is angling correctly, while the secondaries are tearing him apart as well. Bismarck is not doing too great himself, though. 9,400 hit points left. Firing off the secondaries, only 2 guns getting involved at 9 kilometers. And despite the 14-inch guns, you know, low caliber, if he's shooting into that superstructure, he can do some damage. Looks like Bismarck had a heal, because he's definitely not around anyone to get will to rebuild. So he's going to go ahead and bump up his health a little bit and bounce off all those shells, but his turret does get knocked out with Megatron on it. Florida doesn't have much left in the tank over there, and as long as our destroyer captain is competent, it won't matter if the Bismarck goes down. Looks like he's still firing his secondaries at 11 kilometers, so that is a pretty nasty build. He's got Von Hipper pretty well maxed out. I don't think, I mean, my Von Hipper, he's level 16 legendary too, and I can only fire out to a little over 10, so I'm not sure where that extra kilometer is coming from, honestly. He's going to go ahead and take that shot at the Vanguard, or the Florida, and see how it turns out for him. Looks like he missed everything. True German dispersion way. The Bismarck actually, you know, recently anyway, it's been pretty decent as far as dispersion goes. Not fantastic, but definitely could be a whole lot worse, all things considered. We're going to follow this projectile. He's not going to get much out of it, but Florida is obviously not doing very well. He knows the situation. We're up on cap and points, and he sees that smoke screen, so he's going to try and make a dash for it, because that's really his only chance, but the Bismarck goes ahead and finishes him off. So we're down a 2-1 player disadvantage, and we turn that around for a win. Somehow, we managed to turn that into a win. 179,666 damage, top of the leaderboard, 3,036 base XP, 1 kill, high caliber and Confederate, 3 citadels, 68 hits, couple of fires as well. Pretty great game. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, this is my second most damage. Um, I've got a couple more games, coming at you as well in the tier 5 range, which are pretty ridiculous for their tier. So be on the lookout for those, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you.